up, y'all? So the company that made my favorite folding bike, which is the Vitilan i7, has sent me their newest version. So this is the Vitilan i7 2.0. The biggest difference is the battery. This has a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery. The other Vitilan had a 48 volt 16 amp hour battery. The other one can take you up to 55 miles per charge. This can take you 65 miles per charge. I think they also have like different displays and a few other things. So this bike has a 750 watt motor with a 1200 watt peak, advertised to take you 28 miles per hour. I think it's gonna go faster than that though, because the other one went a little bit more than 28 miles per hour, but we're gonna test that out. It also has all-terrain tires, and I think it has full suspension just like the first one. This bike weighs, I think, 73 to 78 pounds, but I think that might be the net weight because the gross weight of this bike is 99 pounds. The maximum weight of the rider on this bike is 330 pounds. To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. Also, I am doing an e-bike giveaway. If you want to be included in this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel, and comment below on what type of e-bike you would like. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this, put this bike together. Because it has all-terrain tires, we're going to go on-road, off-road, and because it folds, we're going to fold it up, put it in my mid-size car, take it to a more like urban area, see what that's like. And we're going to see is this better than the first Vitilan that they sent me. And I got my brother and fellow e-bike enthusiast Tayo to help me put the bike together. He normally like moped style bikes, but you like folding bikes too, kind of, sort of, right?
I can rock with them. I just don't like the fact that you can't ride with no hands.
So this is what the bike looks like fresh out the box. Don't look like they included a whole lot of wrapping on there. We did have like these, but that's about it. So just like the other Vitilan i7, this bike came pretty much fully assembled again. That's one thing I like about the Vitilan folding bikes is you don't have to do a whole lot. The headlight and the front wheel and the front fender came already installed. And you said the bike seemed pretty solid. More solid than the other one?
Oh yeah, for a folding bike, feel it. You can hear it.
So we're going to put the pedals on and the handlebar on, and is that it? This bike did come with a box. They sent us a couple of gifts. So one is
bike lock.
A bike lock, a pretty heavy duty lock. Alright. What else did they send us? That looks like a cell phone holder. That looks kind of heavy duty, huh? So now let's see what's in the big box. So first we have our, look like our owner's manual. We have an owner's manual and we have a display manual. It looks like we do have some of our advanced settings on our display in this regular manual here. Including some of our advanced settings. So it looks like this other manual gives you information about the display because the display has like an app that you can use. The second manual mainly covers how to use that app with Bluetooth. Looks like we have our pedals, which are labeled. Even though these are big pedals, they do fold. Nice array of tools and our battery charger to charge our 20 amp hour battery, and it'll take 5 to 6 hours to charge. First thing we're going to do is put this handlebar on. We're going to go ahead and fold the handlebar. And it does go in there, it is a specific shape that you have to follow. Once you follow the shape, you put the handlebar in, unfold it, put it at whatever height you want, then you can put the clamp on. But before we officially put this clamp on to unfold our bike, I want to tell y'all that if you do have an alignment that's off when you get it, you have to use your hexagon wrench to loosen that up. You also have to loosen up these screws here on the side, and then align your handlebar accordingly, and then tighten these back up. But for now, we're going to go ahead and unfold this. So we're going to put the handlebar up. We are going to clamp that on there like that. The alignment looks pretty good out the box. So usually to fold this handlebar, this lever here, you push it up, but on this bike, this does not go up. So it looks like this is damaged. So it only took 3 days for them to give me another clamp. So let's go ahead and get this installed. And this is a pretty easy install, just unscrewing this. So there was a coil that you have to also install with this clamp. The coil goes right there, I believe. But then other than that, it's pretty easy. Just screw this back in. So now we should be able to clamp the handlebar. Let's push it and bring it up here. Make sure that clamp works. Yep. I think the clamp on the original i7 Pro was a little bit more secure, but this ain't bad. Alright, so bro took it for a spin. He couldn't help himself. What are your thoughts?
It's good. Like I had assumed, I could ride no hands.
No hands. Alright, so it is very, very
Even, I was going with max speed and I was riding with no hands.
And felt safe?
Yeah.
Is this the first folding bike that you felt comfortable enough using with no hands?
Yes. All the rest of them was like no.
Alright, how would you compare this to the other folding Vitilan? Which one is better?
Did I ride the other folding Vitilan? Oh, yeah, this one better.
This is better than the other one?
This one's better than the other one.
We got this bike put together, only took us about 10 minutes. It came fully assembled for the most part. So this bike is pretty standard for a folding bike. It's about 5 feet 6 inches from wheel to wheel. The seat at its lowest point from the floor is 2 feet 5 inches. But that seat pole is pretty long. Like, it can accommodate, I think, somebody that's like maybe 6'2 to 6'4. The handlebar at its lowest point from the floor is about 3 feet 10 inches. And again, you can adjust the height of that handlebar. I am a fan of how grippy these CST BFT tires are. But the durability is kind of hit or miss. But I do like the design of this bike. Loving the gold colored suspension there. But other than that, this bike is a little bit wider than the original Vitilan i7 Pro. That's because of the bigger battery, but I think it's a decent looking bike. Tell me what y'all think. Look at that suspension. That looks like the same suspension that was on the original i7 Pro, which I actually like. My original i7 Pro is one of my favorite folding bikes to use in off-road riding. Give y'all an idea of the rear suspension. Looks like we have fully adjustable suspension in the front, so right now we have the suspension locked out. If you want to open up your suspension, you can do so here. On the other side of your suspension, if you want to add or remove air to your suspension, you can do that over here with a bike pump. Give y'all an idea of the front suspension. Rear rack, pretty standard. I think that can probably handle like 50 pounds. Get a look at our rear and front 180 millimeter hydraulic disc brakes by Logan. The width of this handlebar is pretty standard for a folding bike. It's about 2 feet wide. Standard but really comfortable grips on your handlebar with this leather material. Looks like we have 8 gears for pedaling and we have a trigger gear shifter. We have these here to make it easy for us to replace our hydraulic fluid. And for the body of the handlebar, you would use this same lever switch here. So you would push that up and then you use that to unclamp this, and now you can fold the body of your bike. And this is what the bike looks like when it's folded. Now if you want to remove the battery when the bike is folded, then you would take this key that was on the handlebar. You have to stick it under the bike, and this key is how you turn your bike on too. Then we're going to turn it counterclockwise like that. Okay, so you see that push it in. So now I'm going to remove my key and now I can take my battery out. And this is a pretty standard battery. To change the height of your handlebar, you're just going to undo this clamp here, and then you can adjust the height of this handlebar and it goes up pretty high. I've learned to really appreciate this steel chain wheel cover, because some e-bikes give you a plastic one and the plastic one damages easy. So to turn the bike on, this key under the bike, you have to turn it counterclockwise. You might have to push it up a little bit and turn counterclockwise, and so you have to keep this key in the bike in order to use the electrical part of this bike. I didn't like this at first, but now that I've ridden e-bikes for a few years now, I like this feature because this gives you some level of anti-theft. So to turn this bike on, we're going to press and hold. There's 2 buttons on the side of my panel here. I'm going to click that button to turn our display on. Nice colorful display like our original Vitilan i7, but this is a different display. To change our pedal assist mode, which is right here, you press plus and minus on your panel. Look like we have 5 different pedal assist modes. So if you click this button that's at the bottom right of your panel, you will get more features on your display. Right now you can see we have our trip mileage. We did ride the bike a bit. You click it, we'll get our odometer. Click it again, we'll get our how long has the bike been on for it. You click it again, we'll have our power. Then you click it again, we can have our maximum miles per hour there. You click it again, you get your average miles per hour. Looks like we do have a thumb throttle for throttle only. On the other side of our handlebar, looks like we have a horn. That's on the louder side. Looks like we have turning signals. So if I click that, then that'll engage our turning signals in the back of your bike here. It's also a feature that the original i7 Pro had. It looks like we have a brake light. If we press and hold the plus button, that turns our headlight on. And our rear light on. We're going to press and hold the plus button to turn our lights off. Let's now go through some of the basic items on the display. We have our battery bars here at the top. Our speed calculator, pretty sure you can change that from miles per hour to kilometers. Already showed y'all how y'all can navigate through the different options you have here. And then we have our pedal assist mode there. Unfortunately, unlike the original i7 Pro, this display does not give us a lot of advanced settings. So to go into one set of advanced settings, you're going to press and hold this button on the side of your panel at the bottom. Press and hold that button. And so here you can clear your trip time, so you can go up to Y, click this button at the bottom to save that value and move on to your next setting. That is regarding your light. If you want automatic headlight based on how dark it is, we're going to skip that. And this is how bright do you want your display. You click plus or minus to change your value. We're going to keep it at a 5 setting. And this is how do we want to calculate our speed. Do we want to do miles per hour or kilometers? We're going to keep it at miles per hour. Click this button on the side. Go to our next item. Look like we have cruise control. So if you want to go into your next set of advanced settings, from this advanced setting, then you're going to press and hold the button here at the bottom right and a minus button. You're going to press and hold both of those. And then that's going to take you to another set of advanced settings. We have the diameter of our wheel. I'm not going to change that. Go to the next one. We have our limit speed, but this is what's interesting. You can't change it. So it looks like we cannot change our limit speed. By default, it's 28 miles per hour. Notice more bike companies are doing that, probably because of state regulation. And that's it. That's all we have. We can't adjust our pedal assist sensitivity or our limit speed, which is a bummer for me. But I do wonder though if you can take the screen from the original i7 Pro and replace it with this one. We're about to try out the different pedal assist modes. Starting with mode 1. And I do appreciate just how high the stem can go. Because it can accommodate my height for sure, and people taller than me, so that's good. Keep in mind I cannot adjust the pedal assist sensitivity. Let's go down a couple of gears here. Alright, mode 1 ain't bad though. Not bad regarding how hard it is to pedal. So what's this? 12? Okay, 12 miles per hour. Go down a couple more gears. Alright, not bad. Alright, 12, 13 miles per hour, mode 1. Okay, we're now going to switch it to mode 3. Let's see how fast we go on mode 3. Had to use the throttle a little bit there. Okay, let's see how fast we go in mode 3. 19. Okay, about 19 miles per hour, mode 3, and I love the brakes. We're now going to switch it to mode 5. And by default, the bike is a little gradual, so I doubt if we'd be able to hit our max speed on such a short strip, but we're going to try anyway. Mode 5. I was a little takeoff to it on mode 5. Never mind. I got a little too much pedal assist on mode 5. A little too much. Okay. 28 miles per hour, but we'll try the max speed again. We'll try it later. Although this Vitilan is a little heavier than the original, it's just as portable because it's the same dimensions for the most part. Always hard knowing when to go on the street on an urban area because you can't really see around cars that are parked sometimes, right? But I think this is a great e-bike for urban areas because it is so compact and because you have this dual suspension. Which handles all the cracks in the road like this. Great suspension, so you won't feel things like that. Only thing I don't like about these kind of e-bikes in urban areas is, well, I guess it's good and bad. The handlebar is on such a vertical swivel, and so you gotta kind of keep both hands on your handlebar, especially in an urban area where you might have to take off fast to move. But the good thing about the vertical handlebar is you can avoid people and things a little bit better because it makes really sharp turns. So in the urban area, I can see that being beneficial because you can avoid things. But yeah, definitely a great bike to go from the street to the sidewalk, which I'm assuming a lot of people do when they try to take a bike in an urban area. But yeah, this bike is definitely good enough for that. Streets here, you can go down some pretty steep sidewalk to streets. All right, so what did you think of the suspension? An 8. Okay. All right, so Vitilan i7 Pro 2.0. What are your thoughts?
This is a good bike too, and that we now have 3 Vitilans, right? Stable, very sturdy bike. It is like a more abrupt speed, so you do kind of feel the jerk a little bit. The thumb throttle is pretty smooth. The tires pretty much grip the off-road ground that it needs to. This right here, like, is unstable. Don't reach up and scratch your nose. That's all I'm saying. The seat sucks. Can I say something? Oh. The display is very pretty though. But yeah, overall sturdy bike. Honestly, I would say in the Vitilans that we have gotten, this would be number 3. On the because Vitilan is up there, like their quality.
They said they bar high, right? So you get this bike on a scale from 1 to 10?
I'm gonna give this a 8.6.
8.6. All right. All right, time for us to get our point of view shots in. We're gonna start out by trying out these all-terrain tires. We're gonna go through some gravel, see how that goes. And these are the tires that was on the last Vitilan. All right, not a whole lot of slipping, just a little bit. All right. And these tires are usually pretty grippy. The durability is like hit or miss, but so far so good on this gravel. It's slipping just a little bit. Let's brake here. Yeah, it slips a little bit, right? These CFT, BFT tires, although they did do a little slipping on the gravel, they are definitely grippy enough to lean into your turns. I would normally not suggest leaning when you have a handlebar that's on such a vertical swivel, but the tires are grippy enough for you to do leaning into your turns. We're now going to test out this suspension, and I love the suspension on the first Vitilan. This one is about the same, so it seems like the suspension is the same. Which is just a little, yeah, it's not the, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I can definitely feel some of the bumps and cracks here. Now you do hear the front fender a little bit, but that's not the suspension problem. Let's do some more. Okay. Yeah, the suspension is okay for a folding bike. Not the best suspension I've had on a folding bike though, but it's good enough. I would stay on the scale from 1 to 10. I get a suspension of 8. The one thing I like about these folding bikes that have a vertical handlebar is usually the handlebar is adjustable. You can see I adjusted the height of my handlebar so that I can ride this e-bike with my back straight. So I do like that because that means you can ride with different postures, and they can accommodate different heights of riders. But what I don't like about it usually is this vertical swivel is very unforgiving with your turns. Like if you're turning and both your hands are not on the handlebar, this handlebar can spin out on you. Out of the box,
your sensitivity in mode 3, 1 through 3, is perfect. Like, that's pretty perfect, right? But in mode 4, try this real quick. I think it gives you way too much pedal sensitivity. Like, I'm barely pedaling here. Also, this bike is very, very smooth for a folding bike with a vertical handlebar. So smooth, in fact, I can ride without my hands on the handlebar and pretty comfortably. I've only had, I think, one other folding bike with this vertical handlebar where I felt comfortable enough to do this, because usually this vertical handlebar, again, is very unforgiving, so you really want to keep your hands on the handlebar. And I'm advising you to do that too. Don't do what I'm doing. But I want to show you just how smooth this bike is. So it looks like we're coming on somewhat of a straightaway here, so we're going to try max speed, throttle only, so I'm not pedaling at all. Let's see how fast we go here. This one is a little bit delayed. Okay, this says 29. This says 26. Alright, so I would say maybe that's like 27, 28 miles per hour max speed. So we're now going to try max speed pedal assist. And again, it gives you a lot of pedal assist sensitivity. So I'm going to try my best to pedal to the max speed here. But it assists me a lot, you know what I'm saying? Alright. There we go, I found it. Alright. This says 29, the other one says like 27. Alright. So I would say 28 miles per hour max speed. Although this bike can go 28 miles per hour, and although this bike is really smooth, like especially with the dual suspension, I don't really feel any cracks in the road like that one or like this one. Like I didn't feel that at all. I still would not suggest riding on the streets, on a fast street with other cars. I wouldn't suggest doing that a whole lot with this bike. Because the handlebar is very unforgiving with the turns, I would hate for you to be going real fast and you buy cars, and let's say you're turning a little bit and both your hands are not on the handlebar. I would hate for that thing to spin out on you while you're in the street. Now I'm about to see how this bike performs up a hill. It's a pretty steep hill. I said like a 35-degree hill. We're gonna go throttle only, mode 5. See how much speed we lose. So I'm not pedaling, throttle only. Going into the hill. I'm kind of in the hill now. So started out going 28. See how much speed we lose there. All right. 24. 3, 2. 19. 18. 17. Ooh, man, this hill kicking that. All right, so I lost about 10 to 11 miles. The average is usually 9, so pretty standard, I guess.
So Vitilan i7 Pro 2.0, a really solid bike. The best thing I like about this bike is the battery life. Like, I went on like a 20-mile bike ride, right? Mainly in mode 4. I would say I spent like 3 or 4 miles going like mode 5 pedal assist. In those 20 miles, I only lost 1 out of 9 battery bars. So, I mean, based on my bike ride, that's definitely over 80 miles a charge. I also like the off-road capabilities because you do have dual suspension and you can adjust the compression in the suspension that's in your front fork. Love the all-terrain tires, they are very grippy. And I also like the size of this bike. I think it can accommodate different heights of riders, like the seat pole comes up pretty high. The handlebar comes up pretty high, and you can adjust it to be pretty short. I found it easy to fold this up and put it in the backseat of my mid-size car, even though this is heavier than the first Vitilan. Now, I do think where this bike falls short is features. Like, I can't adjust things like, it doesn't have advanced settings where I can adjust things like my pedal assist sensitivity or my limit speed. You don't have that knob on your handlebar that you could use to adjust how tight your hydraulic brakes are. This folding handlebar stem, I think it was better on the first Vitilan. This stem is okay. It's just that there's a little hook, and that's all that's holding this handlebar up, is like a little hook. Now, I do think this bike is more stable than the first Vitilan. Like, I could ride this bike without my hands on the handlebar. I don't suggest you do that because the handlebar is on such a vertical swivel. But because of the features, I like the first Vitilan a little bit better, but I think you pick your poison when it comes to these two. This is more stable, way better battery life. The other one had more features, so I guess it's like personal preference. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I will give this bike an 8.5. Comment below on what you'll give this bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.